Hey, good evening, traders. This is Trader Tim from eminimind.com doing a Thursday trade recap video. Kind of a wild couple of days, and there's some signs that this will definitely continue. But let's take a look at the ES here. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things, a short trade from today, as well as sort of this widening formation that we're seeing. So first off, you'll notice that on the daily chart over here on the left, we've got those highs still above us, not too far, but as we traded yesterday, we came down below the 61.8 and then rallied and closed within it. In Monday's video, I was talking about how the importance of closing below a level as opposed to just trading below a level. And we had that exact thing here on Thursday where we traded below our 61.8, our line in the sand, but then we closed back within it. And notice the 2 days before that, traded below the 61.8 just a little bit, but then closed back in it. So I'm going to leave this 61.8, this 50% retracement drawing, even though it's been real messy, just to give us a target up here, and that target happens to be just above those all-time highs. Now, if I go down to a 30-minute, you're going to see super clearly this widening formation. I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that, where we're making higher highs, but at the same time, we're making lower lows. And a widening formation is typically a sign of a reversal. Now, in the last couple of days, we've been in this widening formation. Prior to that, we've been moving sideways. Prior to that, we were in 4 days of an uptrend. So, the question is, what are we reversing from? Are we reversing to the downside from this uptrend, or are we simply shaking out both bulls and bears, and a resumption of the uptrend with very few participants is in store? Let's say we gap up tomorrow. There may be very few traders that are already long, and that may end up being a very sharp, sort of straight up move with very few participants. So it's hard to say, with this widening formation, if it means we're going to then roll over and come all the way back down here to 27.7150, but I'm leaving that up just in case we do take out the swing low from back here on the 2nd of August. So we've got the low at 27.95s, we've got the high at 28.5575s, and then today we have the high and low. The high lines up with the lows from this consolidation up here, and then the gap below us is unfilled at 26.75. So let's talk about some trades from today. What I saw today on the gap up, knowing that we were in this widening formation, we gapped up a sizable amount here. I was expecting us to take out highs because the trend had been lower lows but also higher highs. But as we came up to the bottom of this consolidation, I expected this support, what was support, to act as resistance. So coming over here, middle of the morning, we had this run up in the ES, and then we got this nice double top. On the ticks, you'll notice we started with that very, very extreme high tick, and that's never a sustainable place to be. So a move back down or down to the zero line, and then moving sideways from there was kind of expected. We didn't really have super high tick readings after that, only plus 600. So at about the time that we got this double top, we also got a relatively high tick, and we were trading right at the bottom of this prior support level. So what do? We're looking at the move up. We have this double top. Double top could be the start of a new trend. of a downtrend, whereas a double bottom might be the start of an uptrend. So waiting for us to break the swing low here, drawing from highs to lows, putting your short at the 50, and then trailing each candle's high on the way down until we get the kind of the resumption, so to speak, more of a bull flag, if you will, where we went straight up here. This was the double top, and then we didn't really go straight back down. There was a lot of undulation in here, but relative to lows, we're still, if you were to take the low down here and the high and like divide it into, say, quarters, we're in the top quarter. That's where we've pulled back to, right here. So a little short play that turned out all right. If we back up a little bit, there was a prior double top over here. At the time, it looked like a double top. We only broke lows, though, by just one tick, and we still had room to go. This was about 28.46, and the lows were up here at 52s. So for one, we only broke by a tick, and I would like to see a move lower than that so that when I draw up my short, the 50% lines up with the swing low. And so this was not a valid short in my eyes, whereas as opposed to up here, we broke this swing low by more than just a tick. When I draw up the short, the 50% lines up with the swing low. That's a much higher probability setup. So just a couple of ideas for you today. As we go into tomorrow, I'd want to see today's afternoon low held. If we could, certainly the low of the morning, this 34.75. So tomorrow, a break above today's high should put us, it shouldn't be too difficult to break into new highs from there. This range, a 52 to a 62, only about 10 points. So if we can break today's high, I'd be looking for a pretty strong trend day to follow. We got consumer sentiment in the morning. That may or may not give us some sort of a catalyst. But overall, things are a little wild, as we've been talking about. We're halfway through August, and but at the same time, there have been a handful of decent setups in the mix. So tread lightly, and if you're thinking about taking a break or taking a little refresher, now is a great time, because as we get into September, things really get good. So if you have questions or you want to talk about setting up a one-on-one, feel free to shoot me an email. It's just tim@eminimind.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.